All right. Good evening, everybody. It is time for some USFFL action. Let me post the link out there. Let's send that through and then send that through. Now, anybody that wants to come join the broadcast can join it. Let's get back to our game. And actually, let's first set it up so I'll be able to see if anybody else jumps in the stream. All right. So here we are, folks. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons live from the Georgia Dome, or whatever they're calling it these days. Falcons took the ball first, and after a couple of plays, we've got a 3rd and 2 at their own 25-yard line. I did take a look. There are no injuries coming into the game, so both teams are fully healthy. Here's a button hook, tail hook to the tailback, and that's going to be a first down, 4-yard pickup. Matt Ryan completes his first 2 passes out of the gate. Both teams come into this game with an equal 7-6 record on the season. They are both a game behind the Saints in the NFC South. Here's another little flat pass. Ryan hits Russell Gage, another little 4-yard completion, and it's 2nd down and 6. Both of these teams are carded with a very good run defense. Buck showing blitz out of a 3-4 formation. Here's another little quick out pass and incomplete. That went to the split guard and a possible interception roll, but that'll be an incompletion and set up a 3rd down. 3rd and 6 for the Falcons. They're at their own 33. They'll go 3 wide outs, and the Buccaneers will drop back into the nickel. We've got a short pass. Calvin Ridley's the target. Flushed out of the pocket. Matt Ryan looks for another target. He's got it. That's a completion of 9 yards and a first down. Russell Gage brought down on the play by Sean Murphy Bunting. And it's 1st and 10. Falcons out to the 42. Todd Gurley, the single setback now in a 2 tight end formation. Another little quick out. Hayden Hurst, the tight end, is the target. And that's a nice completion. 11 yards on a receiver result on the right column. Hayden Hurst still finds that good number and gets that conversion right off the bat there. Across midfield now, the Falcons, 1st and 10 at the Bucs, 47-yard line. Inside, run up the middle to Todd Gurley. And that's going to be a short pickup, just 2 yards. Cut down immediately by Levante David, and that's 2nd and 8. The Bucs have the 5th-ranked run defense in the USFFL. And attacking it again, right at the middle. Gurley, 6 yards this time. Nice run. And that sets up a very manageable 3rd and 2 at the 39-yard line of Tampa. Opening drive here. Atlanta on the fringe of field goal range. They've got a big 3rd and 2. Huge play in the early part of this game. Sideline pass to Russell Gage, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss. And the defense was guessing run, so it was an opportunity, but unfortunately, on the defensive card, a -2 result, even on wrong. And that sets up 4th and 4 at the 41. That's going to be out of field goal range, realistically. We'll see what the Falcons have in mind here. But they're 4 yards out of the long field goal range, so angling for a variable +4 is not likely going to be on the agenda here. But we are, as of yet, undeclared by the Falcons here on 4th and 4. Matt Ryan, 6 of 7 on this opening drive for 30 yards. 4 of those catches are by Russell Gage. And here we go, 4th and 4. 3 wide receivers split out. Julio Jones is in the slot. Brian Hill is the tailback. 3-4 defense shown by the Buccaneers. Sideline pass to Calvin Ridley. It's against a run defense. The result is receiver, and that's a good one on Calvin Ridley. That's 12 yards. So it was another flat pass on wrong. It went to the defensive card, which gave the Bucks a chance, but the result of receiver, Calvin really knows what to do with that. We've got a first down conversion at the 29-yard line. Matt Ryan looking sharp here early. Here's another quick out to the tight end, and that's another 2-yard loss. And that's another time that it goes through the defense card for a -2 when the flat pass could have been on wrong. So close, but a 2-yard loss, and it's 2nd and 12 at the Tampa 31. Falcons have a nice kicker, Young Wei Koo. Carded for accuracy for sure. 3 wide receivers. It's a blitz being shown here, but there's a run and no gain. Ito Smith is cut down trying to get around the end. And Ndamukong Suh brings him down for the Bucks, and that sets up a 3rd and 12. Being at the 31-yard line, the difference between those two ranges that are bridged by their current field position, 2 to 9 and 12 at the 32 and under, or 2 to 7, 11 and 12. So still pretty good from deep. 4 wide receivers split out now, and the fullback Hayden Hurst in the backfield. So effectively 5 wide receivers being shown by the Falcons. A nickel defense here for the Bucks. Ryan from the shotgun. He's looking, and he's got Russell Gage in his sights. Short pass. Let's see what we've got. Flushed out of the pocket. Looking for another target on his own card. We've got a yak opportunity and nothing doing. Just a short 2-yard pass. So little 2-yard pass on that play is going to set up a 4th and 10 at the 29. Field goal is up and good. It was a double sixes on that one. That was a field goal that's good on 2 through 9 and 12. He got the double sixes to put it through, and the Falcons draw first blood and use up more than half the quarter. 7:12 left in the first quarter here. That was a 15-play drive that only covered 54 yards, 4 first downs, and the Falcons take the early lead 3-0. There's a kick return out to the 30-yard line, and the Bucks will have their first possession. These two teams are meeting for the first time, even though it's late in the season. They will meet again in 2 weeks back at Tampa Bay. Both teams have already lost twice to the Saints, so unless they can get more wins than the Saints, they're effectively fighting for second place in this division. And there's a little run for a single yard, off tackle for Ronald Jones. That's 2nd and 9. Great receivers out there. Godwin and Antonio Brown split out wide with Mike Evans in the slot. Dangerous group of receivers. I saw them myself a couple weeks ago. 3 wide receivers out. 4-3 is going to be the defense here of the Falcons. Tom Brady taking his time to call out this offensive play here on 2nd down. It's going to be a short pass. He's looking for Antonio Brown. Flushed out of the pocket, though. Brady on his card. We've got a yak opportunity, and that's going to be a 1-yard loss. Pass was to Jones out of the backfield, Ronald Jones. So 1-yard loss. So Ronald Jones rushes for a yard, then loses it in the passing game, and we've got a 3rd and 10 now for the Bucks. 3 wide receivers. Cameron Braid is the fullback behind Brady. Nickel defense shown here by the Falcons. The Falcons secondary is really lacking as far as their ratings. Here's a bomb, deep ball to Goodwin or Chris Godwin, and that's incomplete. That was on Brady's card. The roll was a 7, and the long game was on 8. So it was close, but it's 3 and out, and the Buccaneers are punting. From their 30, here's a 40-yard punt to the opposite 30. Taken there by Brandon Powell, and he's going to go ahead and fair catch it. And so 5 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Falcons take over with their second drive. So Falcons took more than half of the first quarter on the opening drive and then forced a 3-and-out. So that's a good start to the game if you're a Falcons fan. Home team making the fans happy. Gurley sets up in the backfield with two tight ends again. But this time they're looking deep. Julio Jones is the target. Defense guessing pass, but it's flushed. We've got a little opportunity here. Result is receiver. It's incomplete. Todd Gurley was the target. And double sixes came up with a result of nothing. So we have an injury to the defense. It's Carlton Davis, 2nd and 10 from the 30. Carlton Davis is a left cornerback 4 rated for the Bucks, but they've got other 4s coming in, so nothing that's going to impact our game too much other than potential long-term depth. 2nd and 10 here. I know the Bucks had a deep injury list earlier in the year, but they're doing okay here for the stretch run. Here's another run up the middle to Todd Gurley and just a 3-yard gain. That was calling on the rating of the center to be a 5. And it looks like he is a 5, so I assume that we probably lost. Yeah, he lost. His rating went from a 5 to a 4 based on formation, it looks like. So that sets up a 3rd and 7. Falcons are going to go through 4 wide receivers now with Hayden Hurst in the backfield, so 5 passing targets. Ryan from the shotgun. Falcons looking for 7 yards here on 3rd down. Here's a short pass. Calvin Ridley the target. Defense's guessing pass. And incomplete. That went to the defensive card, and Bucks looking pretty good there. So that's going to force the Falcons first punt from their 33-yard line. Not the best punts, 38 yards, and that's going to get it to the 29, taken there by Jaden Mickens of the Bucks. He's going to go ahead and fair catch that one. So Buccaneers set up again, 1st and 10 at their 29-yard line. The Falcons have a pass defense that is rated very poor. There's a couple of 0s and a couple of 4s out there as far as defensive ratings, so that in and of itself is not very good. Here's a flat pass to Cameron Brate, and he's open. There's a 9-yard completion. That went to the defensive card with 0 men there. And so a 9-yard pass from Brady to Brate will start that possession. 2nd and 1 at the 38. Two tight end formation now being shown. Defense is guessing run, but it's a quick slant. Gronk is open over the middle. There's 13 more. And Brady has the Bucks quickly across midfield to the Atlanta 49-yard line. 1st and 10. That's the first down of the game for the Buccaneers. I'm sure Coach Freeze of the Falcons didn't expect to hold him down the whole game. Here's an off tackle, Ronald Jones, and that's going to be a 1-yard loss. That was on right, even though the call was a pass. I believe that had to do with the formation again. 3 wide receivers out there on 2nd and 11 from the 50. Here's a screen to Ronald Jones once again. Brady gets a result of receiver on his card, and that's incomplete. Ronald Jones not the best target, and it's 3rd and 11. We were talking, here's third. Let's go ahead and finish this, though. 3rd and 11 at the 50, and then I'll try to finish that thought. Nickel defense, 3 wide receivers. Couple of tight ends in there, both Gronkowski and Brady. Here's a short pass to Brate. Falcons were double teaming the wrong tight end. They were doubling Gronkowski, but flushed out of the pocket. And there's a nice completion. 16 yards on 3rd and 11. Mike Evans converts. And the Buccaneers get down to the 34-yard line. They're on the fringe of field goal range themselves. Ryan Suckup not as good from the deep range as Young Wei Koo is, only 2 through 4. But as long as he gets inside that 32, a few more yards, Suckup's a reliable kicker. Falcons' pass defense by the card is very poor, but by their performance this year, they rank middle of the league, 15th in pass defense. Here's an inside run to Ronald Jones, 6 yards to get it started, 2nd and 4 at the 28. So John Freeze, Coach Freeze, has made the most of his defensive cards or his defensive calls, I guess, to make the most out of what is a very bad pass defense. Two tight end formation. Ronald Jones, a single setback still. Closing moments of the first quarter here in Atlanta. And here's a pitch out on 2nd and 4. Ronald Jones, he's coming around the edge and he's a little short, 3rd and 1. He got 3 on the play, needed 4. And that's going to do it for the first quarter here in Atlanta. Your score, the Falcons from the opening drive are up 3-0. The Bucs are driving, though. It's 3rd and 1. Here's a quick out to Gronkowski, and that is incomplete. That was a possible interception on Brady's card on right. He didn't get it, and it's 4th and 1. So at the 25-yard line, that would be a 2 through 8, 11 and 12 field goal to tie it, but he's going to forego the field goal. Coach Mike Niemzura, I could not possibly hope I pronounced that right the first time, but maybe I did. Coach Mike going for it on 4th and 1. He's got 2 tight ends in with Ronald Jones, the single setback. Falcons coming with a 4-3. Grady Jarrett's a 6-rated tackle on the left side of the defensive line there for the Falcons. He's also got a 6-rated linebacker out to the right, on the right outside, Michael Walker. So that gives him a couple options to kind of help stuff the line, depending on what he's looking at. 4th and 1. It's another quick slant to Gronkowski, and he's got it. That's 4 yards. It did go to the defensive card, but a result of 4 yards and a first down. So 1st and 10 now at the 21-yard line. Gronkowski with his second catch. Spread formation is what Brady's going to stay in here. 3 wide receivers. Antonio Brown is in the slot. Falcons will show a deep nickel with a 4-2-5. And here's an off-tackle draw up the middle. And Ronald Jones with a good 6 yards. Beating the defensive tackle, running away from the aforementioned Grady Jarrett. And that sets up 2nd and 4 at the 15-yard line. So the Buccaneers in the red zone for the first time today. 2nd and 4 at the 15. They'll stay in the 2 tight end formation. Cameron Brate comes in instead of Antonio Brown. Ronald Jones still the tailback. 4-3 defense shown by the Falcons. Back to pass. Brady looking for Godwin over the middle and incomplete. It was a short pass to Godwin, and on Brady's card, he couldn't find it. So that sets up a 3rd and 4. Big 3rd down opportunity in this game. The Bucs are 1 for 3 so far on 3rd down. They'll stay in that 2 tight end formation. Falcons from the 4-3 defense. They're going to run it. Off tackle, Ronald Jones, and 3 yards, but a penalty, and that's roughing. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, and that's going to gift a first down to the Buccaneers. 1st and goal at the 6, and they'll go right into the spread formation again. 3 wide receivers, Brown in the slot now. Falcons in the 4-2-5 defense. There's an inside run. They're guessing run, and that's still a 5-yard gain. Ronald Jones powers over a linebacker with a 6 on the white die. That's going to make it 2nd and goal on the 1 now. Jones, some tough yardage so far in the early going. 7 carries, 23 yards. They're going at him again, and that's a touchdown. They were keying Leonard Fournette in the full house backfield, but it was Ronald Jones with his 8th carry. And that's a touchdown that puts the Bucs on top here. Setting up for the extra point is Suckup. 11 and 12 are your fails, and it's good, though. And that's going to make it a 7-3 lead for the visitors. The Buccaneers on top. 12 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 7-3 Buccaneers. They'll be kicking off now. It's going to be a deep kick. We'll see what the Falcons have in mind on that one. They'll go ahead and take that at the 25. So 1st and 10 at the 25. Nice drive there for the Buccaneers for the score. 14 plays, 65 yards, and eventually the game's first touchdown. Falcons now trailing for the first time. 1st and 10 at their 25, and they're coming to get it back quickly. There's a deep ball to Calvin Ridley, but it's incomplete. That went to the defensive card with a roll of a 4-5 and came up incomplete with one man there, so 2nd and 10. Aggressive play call there. Falcons will stay with 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Bucs in the 3-4. Now here's a pitch out to the running back, Ito Smith. And it goes to the defensive card, and that's not good against the Bucs. That's a 1-yard loss. And Ndamukong Suh beat him with his defensive rating yet again, and it sets up a 3rd and 11 now for the Falcons. 4 wide receivers split out, shotgun formation, short pass, Christian Blake, and that's going to be incomplete. It was a result of defender incomplete or 15. With a roll of 4, you're not going to beat the Bucs secondary. So punting now from the 24-yard line. I think that might be consecutive 3-and-outs now for the Falcons. And not the best punt here either, just 38 yards. That's going to be actually fielded at the 38, just a 1-yard return. And the Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 39. The Bucs, you would expect, would certainly have the carded advantage in this game. They were, after all, the Super Bowl winning team. Here's a pitch out to Ronald Jones and just a 3-yard gain wrong on his own card. So could have been a lot worse if you're the Falcons. 2nd and 7. Brady looking for Gronkowski on the short pass here. But he's flushed, and let's see what he does. And we got a yak opportunity here, but it's just 2 yards. That was Chris Godwin for his first catch, just a 2-yard completion. For all their prowess, these Buck receivers do not have the best yak rating. And so 3rd and 5 for the Bucs at their own 44. 3 wide receivers again. Nickel now is the defense from the Falcons. Brady 6 of 10 on the day. Just 43 yards. Kenneth Vaughn is the setback. Here's a short pass to Godwin, and he's doubled and incomplete. Give Coach Freeze credit defensively. He doubled the right receiver and went to the defensive card and was an interception split roll, 2 through 4 and 12. He missed it. It's incomplete, and it sets up a 4th down. Bucs are punting. And they're setting up to coffin corner punt here, which is kind of interesting. They were on their own 44. Goes out at the 19. So I suppose you could look at that as a win, maybe. And that's 9 minutes left. Then the Falcons take over at their own 19, 1st and 10. Here's an inside run on 1st down. Gurley right up the middle. Nice gain, 6 yards. Gurley now 21 yards on the day on 5 carries. Falcons stay in the 2 tight end, but Ito Smith now the tailback. And they're going to pitch out to him, but that is a 1-yard loss. And guess who? It's Ndamukong Suh beating the 5 on the white dice for the third time today. So he's having a big day for Mike Niemzura. And it's 3rd and 5. 3 wide receivers. Russell Gage is in the slot. Defense for the Bucs now back to the nickel. Here's a sideline pass to Russell Gage. And we have a yak opportunity, needing 5. He's going to get a nice gain, 21 yards plus the 2, so 23. Snake Eyes was the roll on that yak reading. And that was a reception from Russell Gage for 23 yards and a first down. Atlanta is out to their own 47. Here's a sideline pass to Russell Gage again. It's a receiver result in a 7-yard completion. Russell Gage now 6 catches already. And it's 2nd and 3, and now across midfield at the Tampa 46. And looking deep to an empty zone. Calvin Ridley's the target. And we've got a long gain, folks. Calvin Ridley. He's got it inside the 20, down to the 6. Yes, 1st and goal at the 6. That was nobody in the zone, a 5-9 defender or long gain. And that beats Deshaun Murphy bunting for a completion of 40 yards, and it's 1st and goal Falcons. Matt Ryan over 100 yards now, 12 of 17 for 112. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Gurley is the single setback behind Hayden Hurst. Showing blitz out of the 3-4 is the Buccaneers. Short pass, Russell Gage, touchdown! Matt Ryan on his card hits the 7, and he's good enough to convert that into a touchdown. Falcons are back on top. It's 9-7. Extra point pending from Younghoe Koo. And that's also good. So 10-7. Falcons back up on top. 6:18 to go here. Falcons on that drive. 6 plays, 81 yards. And their first touchdown. Looks like Atlanta's doing a lot better on a per play basis. 26 plays for a 5.3 average. The Bucs are struggling a little more, just 3.5 yards per play. They're only down 3 early 2nd quarter, and here's the kickoff. And it's a good one. That's going to be a touchback. Younghoe Koo boots it through. And the Tampa Bay Bucs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. Now down 10-7. Right to the spread formation for the Buccaneers. Short pass. Antonio Brown's the target, and he's got him 11 yards. Brady rifles it in there, and it's 1st and 10. Tampa at their 36 now. Antonio Brown's out, 2 tight ends, but he's looking deep. Godwin is the target again, incomplete. Brady, for the 2nd time to Godwin, hits a 7 on his card when he needs the 8. So 2nd and 10. Back to the spread formation. On 2nd and 10, Falcons will drop back to a 4-2-5. Button hook attacks that open zone, but there was a man there, and interception. Interception on the play. Brady on his own card. And here comes the return, and it's a nice one. Ricardo Allen stepped in front of it, and he returns that 19 yards. So Tom Brady on his card, flat pass right. One man, the pick was on 2 through 4. And the Falcons get that turnover. Now 1st and 10 inside the 20 at the 18-yard line of the Bucs. The game's first turnover. Here's a quick out to Hayden Hurst, the tight end, incomplete. On Matt Ryan's card, there is a penalty. Oh, and that's a personal foul against the Buccaneers. Probably a late hit, you would imagine. So 1st and goal now at the 9-yard line. 5 minutes, 6 seconds to go here in the 2nd period in Atlanta. Falcons leading 10-7. And on the strength of the game's first turnover, are gifted short field range, and let's see what they can do with it here. First and goal at the 9. Gurley is in the deep eye. Showing blitz out of the 3-4 is Tampa. It's off tackle to Gurley. Defense card and just 2 yards. Onside end. Tight end couldn't meet his block rating needed, and so just 2 yards. Second and goal at the 7. Neither team's been running the ball too well this game. 3 wide receivers now. Julio Jones in the slot. Gurley still the single setback. Crossing pattern. Calvin Ridley. Touchdown. Ridley gets it. Matt Ryan on his card. On wrong, by the way. The Bucs were looking for a run. But Ridley gets it. His third catch, his first touchdown. And the Falcons. Extra point from Younghoe Koo is good. And they take a 2-score lead now. 17-7 for the Falcons. 4:12 to go. And here's the kick from the 8-yard line. And a nice return of 26 on top of that. So Buccaneers with decent field range, or field position, I should say, to start this drive. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the first half from their own 34. Now down 10. 2 tight ends is the formation with Ronald Jones as the tailback. Ronald Jones, there's a 6-yard gain off tackle on his card, and it's 2nd and 4. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go here in the first half. Off tackle again to Ronald Jones. This time on the defensive card, just a 2-yard gain. Again, the Falcons with a very good run defense. And that sets up a big 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 at the 42 of Tampa. And they're going to run Ronald Jones again, this time around the end, and he gets exactly 2 yards. So Ronald Jones gets a 2-yard run, so 3 straight carries for 10 yards. And, boy, that's consistent with his average on the day. 12 carries for 37 now, a 3.1 average. We're now down to 2 minutes, 6 seconds left, almost halftime, or I should say almost to the 2-minute warning. Tampa from their own 44 now, 1st and 10. Here's a short pass. Mike Evans is the target. Nice one, 13 yards on that first down. Evans gets out of bounds. Not that it matters because we've reached the 2-minute warning here in Atlanta. Falcons up 17-7. Bucks 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 43, and there's another pass. Mike Evans again for 13 again, and on the same place on the card. Both passes to Mike Evans. Went to the defensive card, result of 5 for 13 yards. It's now down to the 30. Bucks moving quickly now. Still 3 wide receiver formation. Short pass. This time they're doubling Evans. He's throwing to Gronkowski, and he's got it. Gronkowski has 11 yards, and that's a first down. Brady is heating up. 1st and 10 now in the red zone to the 19 of Atlanta. 3 wide receivers. 4-3 defense shown by the Falcons here. 1:22 to go. Here's a short pass again. Cameron Brate, incomplete. That one on Brady's card went to 8, so when the defense guesses right, 8's receiver on wrong. Generally nothing on right. So 2nd and 10 at the 19. Spread formation again. Antonio Brown comes back in. That's going to put the Falcons into the nickel. Still at the 19-yard line, just before halftime here. Bucks looking to cut it to a 1-score game. Short pass to Antonio Brown, incomplete. There is a flag, and it's going to be holding against the Bucks. So either 3rd and 10, or they could back it up. They'll back it up. Coach Freeze wants the yardage. I think that's the right call. 2nd and 20 at the 29 now. So the deep zone is in play on 2nd and 20. Still in the spread formation. Antonio Brown in the slot. Falcons from the nickel. Short pass to Chris Godwin, and that's complete. 13 yards, and he gets out of bounds. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 7 at the Falcons' 16-yard line. So big play here with 60 seconds left in the first half. Three wide receivers, Antonio Brown in the slot, nickel defense from the Falcons. Brady now over 100 yards passing on the day. 11 of 19 for 104. Here's an off tackle on 3rd and 7. Ronald Jones gets a split roll, but 5 yards is the result. He had a chance at 15, but needed a 2 through 4 and 12, didn't get it. So 4th down and 2 at the 11. Right now, we're waiting on a decision on the clock here. Hurry up offense. It says 37 seconds left. You can let it run to get it to 30. They're going to do the hurry up offense, so they're not going to go for the field goal here on 4th and 2. Interesting when you're down 10. That makes it a tough call. I'm not saying there's one right call at all, but certainly, yeah, that's a tough call when you're down 10. But I get it. You're close, so he's going for it. 4th and 2. He's going to stay in the spread formation. Three wide receivers. Ronald Jones is your tailback. Big 4th down here. Both teams have already converted a 4th down. Both are 1 for 1. Falcons coming out on a nickel defense. Big play here. A whole playbook is open. I guess except for the long pass. 4th and 2, 37 seconds left. And it's a short pass. Their defense is guessing run. Touchdown. Antonio Brown is in the end zone. A gutsy call by Mike Niemzura pays off. And just before halftime, Tom Brady hits his first touchdown pass of this game. And here's the extra point from Younghoe Koo. It is good, and it's a field goal difference again. Bucks cut it to 17-14. Falcons still on top. And the Bucks have a bad kick defense. I wonder, yep, they're going to squib it. Probably the right call. I wondered that with only 22 seconds left. And sure enough, Mike Niemzura not missing a beat. He's been dealing with that all year, so he squibs it. And the Falcons get it at the 27-yard line. 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Full house formation. Looks like we're going to run this clock out. I'm going to go ahead and assume that. We're going to look at some halftime stats in just a second here. Not too long ago, we were talking about the per play average from Tampa being a little bit out of whack, but they've improved that now. 4.8 yards a play, Falcons at 5 yards a play. And in fact, Tampa has outgained them in the first half, 157 to 146. But they're down 3, and I'm sure some of that has to do with having the game's only turnover. They are both celebrating the fastest half they've ever played. So Tom Brady, 12 of 20. Matt Ryan, 14 of 20. A buck 15 and a buck 25. So pretty even game for these quarterbacks if you exclude that interception. Not much running. In fact, check it out. The longest run in this game for the entire first half for either team is just 6 yards. And that's with what? 20? No, 22 carries. And neither one of them could get better than a 6-yard gain. So it looks like they're getting ready to start the second half here. Boy, 14 minutes and 56 seconds time of possession to 14 minutes and 49 seconds. This was a very close first half. Good game here in the NFC South. Week 15 USFFL action, and second half is underway. Bucks taking over at their 25-yard line. Here we go. There's a run. Ronald Jones up the middle, and he's got space for an 18-yard gallop. That's across the 40 out to the 43. And no sooner did I say that the first half didn't have a run longer than 6 yards than Ronald Jones comes out and triples that in one play. 18 gets the Bucks started off the right way here in the second half. Now, hang on one second here. I'm confused because Wondering why we oh, there we go. Now that's strange. The clock for a second said 13 something left, and then it changed. I don't know how to explain what I just saw, people, other than to tell you that it made me think I had missed a turnover I had not. So we're good. And it looks like we have a joiner. Let's take a look. It looks like it is Harlan. Welcome, Harlan. And pull the screen back up here. And I remembered to go full screen. 2nd and 5. There's a little dump pass for 4 yards. So we've got a big third down coming up here. First drive of the second half. Tom Brady and the Bucks, 3rd and 1, just across midfield at the Atlanta 48-yard line. Brady's going to try to sneak it up the middle, and he does. 2 yards, gets the first down conversion. And it's 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 46. 17-14 here in the second half. Opening drive of the second half. Falcons on top at home. Here's a 2-yard run to Ronald Jones. And that's going to make it 2nd down and 8. Very even stats in the first half. 1 turnover the difference. Brady turned it over in his own end, and the Falcons turned that into a touchdown. And here's a short pass, but flushed out of the pocket. Brady gets a second target, and it's good. That's a 9-yard completion for a first down. Brady hits Ronald Jones out of the backfield on that one, and it's 1st and 10. Now down to the Atlanta 35, so the Bucks are on the fringe of field goal range. But I'm sure they're looking to do more than tie it up the middle. Ronald Jones, a gain of 2 yards only. 2nd and 8 at the 33. There's a big, let's see, we got a pass here. That's right. That's a first down. Chris Godwin, 15 yards. Brady hits him for a first down. They're now into the red zone, and it's 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of Atlanta. Going short pass again to Godwin. Result of receiver. Godwin has it, and that's down near the goal line. 16 yards down to the 2. Tom Brady heating up here. Now 16 of 24 for a $1.59. 1st and goal from the 2. Full house formation coming out from the Buccaneers. Falcons in the 4-3. Off tackle to Fournette. They were keying the other running back. That's still going to be a 1-yard loss. Onside end needed to be a 6. Bucks did not have the 6 blocking tight end, and it's a 1-yard loss for Ronald Jones. Oh, I'm sorry, for Fournette, his first carry. 2nd and goal at the 3. And on 2nd and goal at the 3, the Bucks will split out to a spread formation. Falcons will stay in the 4-3. Falcons guessing run, short pass. Mike Evans, incomplete on the defensive card. With 4 men there, even the Falcons' defensive card came up with an incompletion on an 11. So 3rd and goal at the 3. Big play in this game. 2 tight end formation. Ronald Jones is their tailback. 4-3 defense from the Falcons showing the blitz. Run it or pass it. Let's see what Coach Nimzura has. He's going to run it. Ronald Jones off tackle. Touchdown. There is a flag. Let's see what the laundry says. And that's holding against Tampa Bay. So take the touchdown off the board. Back the Buccaneers up, and it's 3rd and goal at the 13. And so now they're going to need a 13-yard completion here to get that touchdown they were looking for. 3 wide receivers split out. Behind Brady is Cameron Braid as a 4th target. Nickel defense from the Falcons. Ricardo Allen doubles Mike Evans, but the target is Antonio Brown, but it's going to be a dump pass and 7-yard gain. It's not enough. It ended up being flat pass, 0 men there, but a result of 3 holds that to just a 7-yard completion to Gronkowski. And that makes it 4th and goal from the 6. And a field goal is the decision here, obviously, and Suckup puts it through. And so this game is all tied up. And the ensuing kickoff from the Buccaneers is returned out to the 20-yard line, and the Falcons will take over there. 7.5 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. So That means that opening drive of the second half here by the Buccaneers, 14 plays, 79 yards, and half a quarter. And here's a must run from Matt Ryan. Not usually a good thing, but that's 8 yards. Actually, his must run is a little better than I would have anticipated for him. Apologies. Even the coach is saying not bad for an old man. I would have to agree. 2nd and 2 now for the Falcons. We have a tie game here in the NFC South. 17 all here in the third quarter. It's been a very good game, very close game. Falcons with the ball. Todd Gurley, the single setback. Neither team running with too much success here today as far as the run game. Inside run up the middle, Todd Gurley. And that's going to be held to just a 2-yard gain, but that's enough for a first down. Move the chains. 1st and 10, Falcons at the 30. Falcons looking long here on first down. Calvin Ridley's the target, but he's going to go ahead and roll from him, flushed out of the pocket, looking for another target. Hayden Hurst has it, and that's a 5-yard gain. Matt Ryan now 15-21 for a $130. 2nd and 5 at their own 35-yard line. Only 10 first downs so far for the Falcons on this game. And that's going to be incomplete. Little flat pass with 2 men there. Disaster avoided. Incomplete sets up a 3rd and 5. So big 3rd down for the offense here. Short pass, Calvin Ridley. The result is receiver, and he's got it. Calvin Ridley with 13 yards and a first down. Falcons out to the 48. That's not the first time in this game that the result of receiver was paid off on Ridley's card. Big time players in big time games. 1st and 10 at the 48. Ridley now 4 catches, 72 yards. Here's a pitch out, a 4-yard gain by Ito Smith, and a personal foul on the defense on top of that. Tack on 15, and all of a sudden, the Atlanta Falcons down to the Tampa Bay 33-yard line. 3 wide receivers now. Ito Smith, the tailback. Bucks bringing the 3-4 defense. Julio Jones is in the slot. Ridley and Gage are split out wide. Short pass, Calvin Ridley's the target, and that's going to be complete. 15 yards. There's a flag, and the penalties, they are offsetting, so 1 apiece. Wipe that away, and it's, once again, 1st and 10 at the 33. Here's a flare. Hayden Hurst, tight end out of the backfield. 2 yards plus the yak, and actually it's -1 from that, so just a 1-yard gain there on that little dump pass. So 2nd and 9 at the 32-yard line. Sideline pass to Russell Gage. Bucks were looking for a run, and that's going to be a good completion. We've got 6 yards plus 2, so 8. 2 yards of that was yard after catch. Russell Gage with his 8th reception on this game. Only 59 yards, and it's 3rd down and 1 at the Tampa 24. You're going up against an elite run defense. Inside run for Todd Gurley, and he's got it, 3 yards. The defense did guess pass, and sure enough, that was 0 if they'd guessed run. So decided to rely on the defense and stick with a safer pass call, and they got a conversion there. So 1st and 10 at the 21. There's a short pass, Calvin Ridley, and that's incomplete. He was double teamed. Matt Ryan had it double teamed on his card, and it was close but incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 21. Pitch out to Ito Smith. He's trying to go around the end. Bucks were guessing run as well. No gain. Oh, there's a fumble. He put it on the ground. Let's see who has it. And it's there for the Bucks. They fall on it. Or do they fall on it? They do. So big recovery. Jason Pierre-Paul scoops it up. And in a tie game late in the third quarter, the Falcons pay back that earlier turnover at about that same position on the field. So the Bucs take over at their 24. Spread formation. They're going to throw it short right away. Antonio Brown has it. That's a 10-yard completion. 1st and 10 at the 34. Looking long. Mike Evans is your target, and it's incomplete. Tom Brady couldn't get it. It was on the defensive card. Result of 5, and that's 2nd and 10. The Buccaneers and play calling from Coach Niemzura has been decidedly more aggressive, it seems, as the game has gone along. Just an observation. Spread formation again. Falcons dropping into the nickel. But it's a draw. Let's mix it up off tackle. And Ronald Jones has 6 yards on his card. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Good call there by the offense as Niemzura gets himself a better 3rd down opportunity, 3rd and 4 at their own 40. Minute 12 to go here in the third quarter, still tied at 17. Short pass. Antonio Brown's the target, but flushed out of the pocket. Brady looks for another target. He's got it. 1st down completion on that one, 9 yards. Up near the 50, it's Godwin on the reception. His 5th catch, and it's 1st and 10 Tampa at the 49-yard line. Pitch out. Ronald Jones around the end, just a 3-yard gain. And that's 2nd and 7, and that's also the final play of the third quarter. So we go to the final 15 minutes here in Atlanta with the Falcons and Bucs tied 17-17. Short pass. Brady's got it. 15-yard completion on defender, extra 15. 6 on the white dice. Delivers a 15-yard 1st down completion to Mike Evans, and they're down to the Atlanta 33-yard line. Tom Brady now 20 for 30, exactly 200 yards on the day. Here's a flare pass. Cameron Brate. Oh, he's tackled in the backfield. Nice play on that one by Foye Olukan. Yes, that's the first time I've ever said that name. -4 on that play sets up a 2nd and 14. Spread formation still. Falcons drop to the 4-2-5 defense. Short pass to Chris Godwin. Falcons were double teaming a different receiver, but flushed out of the pocket. Brady looks for another target. Receiver is the result. Gronkowski has it for 8. That's a nice play on 2nd and 14 to get 8 on flat right. And that sets up a 3rd and 6 at the Atlanta 29. So again, we do know that while the Falcons aren't a big threat to get sacks, a sack taking you to the next range is a big hit for the Bucs. We'll see what the play call is. Short pass, Gronkowski, 1st down completion of 12 yards. That was on the defensive card, and even with 4 men there, Brady converts it. And that's inside the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 17. There's a run off tackle. Ronald Jones for 6 on his card. 2nd down and 4 at the Atlanta 11. Ronald Jones now 20 carries, 84 yards. Two tight end formation again. Defense in the 4-3. 12 minutes left in this game. Tied up at 17. Bucs on the road. On the fringe of the end zone. Short pass. Mike Evans. He's doubled. It goes to the defensive card and intercepted. Falcons pick it off in the end zone. Brady with his 2nd pick. Let's see if he decides to return this. He's 2 yards deep. And he will go ahead and down that. That's out to the 20-yard line. So, huge interception in the end zone. The home team gets it and take over. And so 1st and 10 at the 20. for the Falcons. 11:42 to go, still tied at 17. Big NFC South tilt. Both teams at 7-6. They will meet again in 2 weeks in the final game of the season. Inside run, Todd Gurley right up the middle again, and 2 yards only. Familiar refrain as Gurley continues to power into that elite run defense, just 9 carries for, or I should say just 30 yards on 9 carries. Second and 8, inside run up the middle again to Gurley. And that's going to be through for what? Is that 11 yards? It is. It's an 11-yard gain. So it was a 1-yard gain, but a couple of boxes there. So because that zone didn't have the number of linebackers behind it, he converted that. And we've got 1st and 10 at the 33. And there's a 5-yard penalty on first down. Back him up 5 yards. So 1st and 15 at the 28 for the Falcons. Gurley now 10 carries, 41 yards on the game. Red zone, a big differential as the Bucs threw that red zone interception. They're now 61% red zone performance today, whereas the Falcons are at 100%, 2 for 2 getting that touchdown. And I'm wondering if we are locked up because I'm not seeing anything happen here. Wait, did the injury not happen? Yeah, it says possible. Yeah. So there seems to be a question on the field. There was a note about an injury look up, but it does say out for, so it says possible left inside linebacker. Yep. So I guess this is one of these things where we're a little bit unsure, but it just looks to me like there was a possible injury. It didn't happen. Looks like we're getting set up here now again. 1st and 15. Falcons at their 28. 3 wide receivers. Bucs are going to drop into the nickel. Well, we're waiting for the offensive play call here. Let's see. There we go. Short pass. Calvin Ridley. Defense guessing run. So a good opportunity and a 10-yard completion. Not enough for a first down after that penalty, but that'll set up a 2nd and 5. Atlanta out to the 38 now. Calvin Ridley having a good day. 5 catches, 82 yards, and that touchdown. Brian Hill is the single setback here. 2 tight ends. Here's an off tackle to Brian Hill. And on his card, he's got nothing. No gain. He hits that 5 that nobody wants to see, and that sets up a 3rd down and 5. We're still tied. 9 minutes and a little change to go in the game here. 17-17. Spread formation from the Falcons. Gage is in the slot. Ridley and Julio Jones are split out. Bucks in the nickel. Here's a screen pass to Brian Hill out of the backfield, and 4 yards. So it comes up a yard short. There is a penalty. Actually, there are a couple of flags. It's offsetting, and so we're going to back it up. 3rd and 5. We're going to replay it. 3rd and 5 again at the 38-yard line. Big play in this game, as many of them are going to be here down the stretch right now when we're tied. Such a big game. Sideline flat pass, Calvin Ridley. Result is receiver, and Ridley comes through again. Ridley with 7 yards on that big third down for his 6th catch, and I think at least 3 or 4 of them now have been the result of him capitalizing on a receiver result. So 1st and 10 at the 45, 8:42 to go here in the 4th quarter. Defense guessing run, deep ball, Julio Jones, incomplete. Whoa, Matt Ryan had that opportunity, caught the defense guessing run, but it was actually the interception split roll on his card. He didn't hit that. 2nd down and 10. 3 wide receivers again. Nickel defense from the Buccaneers. They're showing blitz this time. There's an off tackle, Brian Hill, and that's just 3 yards. Goes to the defensive card again. 3rd and 7. I'm sure Coach Freeze was looking for a little better than 3 yards to set up that 3rd down, but sometimes we get what we get. 3rd and 7. Falcons from their own 48. They're going to split out with 4 wide receivers now, plus Hayden Hurst beside Matt Ryan and back in the shotgun. Bucks come out with a nickel. Short pass, Russell Gage, but he is a sack. He never got it off. Vea, right up the middle. 8-yard sack, 4th down. The Falcons have to punt from their 40. Big clutch sack from the big guy. And there's a 38-yard punt taken at the 22 there. Just a 2-yard gain on that return. And the Bucks have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 24. We are all tied up at 17. It's just under 7 minutes to go in this game. I'm going to go ahead and why not tell people that? I'm not going to, and I'll tell you why, because some people might want to watch it later. I know that's how I like to do it sometimes. Do not spoil it for them. What do we have here? We got a completion of 10 yards. Tom Brady again. That one to Godwin. 1st and 10. Bucks at their 34-yard line. 6:36 to go in this tie game. Off tackle, Key, Sean Vaughn, and that's a gain of 6 yards. Keshawn's first carry sets up a 2nd and 4 at the 40 now. Spread formation. Antonio Brown in the slot. Falcons will stay in the 4-3. It's a screen to Lenny Fournette. Possible interception, incomplete though. Brady hit the interception on his card yet again. But this time he didn't get the split roll. And that sets up a huge 3rd down and 4. What a huge play in this game. 3rd and 4, Tampa, from their own 40-yard line. Tie game, 5:42 left to go. 3 wide receivers are split out. Off tackle, Ronald Jones, though, going to try to convert on the ground. And Ronald Jones has got it. He's got it and more. He's across midfield, inside the 40, down to the 30, down to the 20. They're not going to get him wide open. Touchdown, Bucks. Ronald Jones with a 60-yarder puts the Buccaneers on top. Ryan Suckup coming out, and he boots it through. 24-17. The Bucks take the big lead there. Ironic to see the little note here at the end of that play that says ball carrier is fatigued, yards subtracted. I don't think it mattered. Plenty of time left, though, for Atlanta. Here's a deep kickoff by Suckup, and the Falcons, I think, are going to sit on that one. You know, I say as soon as I say the Falcons are going to sit on that one, I forget that they do have those bad kick return results on the Bucks card, and I may be locked up. We may be backing out here. I'd say, yeah, we are. So let's try to set this up as I do it. Bucks just took the lead on a 60-yard touchdown run from Ronald Jones. They're up 24-17 with 5:24 to go in this game. And let's go ahead and get that game number again. Get this game launched again, shall we? All right. Should have it back up here in no time. Honestly, just locking up once only so far, not that bad. I'll take that. If you tell me that's going to happen to me once every game, the way it's been performing this year, I think I would just take that. Looks like the coaches are also making fun right now of the comment I saw there about the yardage had been deducted. Okay, let's check a couple things. First of all, right there. And we are set to full screen still. And we'll open it back up. So here we are, folks. We are once again looking live here in Atlanta, the Georgia Dome, or whatever they call it these days. Falcons just gave up a 60-yard touchdown run to Ronald Jones, and they trail the Buccaneers for the first time today, if I'm mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, let's take a look. I'm sure. I think that's right. Yeah, that's the first. No, that's not true. Bucks were up to 7-3. So, but the Bucks are back on top after that touchdown run. Ronald Jones, 21 carries, buck 44. Nice day running the ball after that one. Plenty of time, but the Falcons do need the touchdown. Off tackle draw to Brian Hill, and that's just 3 yards. Again, it went to the defensive card. And I have to say, just as a casual observer of this very game and seeing what I've seen, unless my memory serves me poorly, I think a high majority of these runs by the Falcons tonight have gone to this defensive card of the Bucks. They certainly haven't probably had their share on that. I don't know if we locked up again. Yeah, it looks like maybe we locked up again. Yeah, it looks like it. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this game again. Okay. Still having trouble connecting to the game. I'll have to keep an eye and see if maybe they have a new game number or anything. Let's check out this game summary. Titans beat the Lions tonight, 34-31. Wow, AJ Brown, 10 catches for 182 yards. That's tremendous. Yep, so that's a big win for the Titans. They desperately needed it, and it's a loss that effectively eliminates the Lions from the USFFL playoffs, although I think they're still maybe in line, if not already clinched for that Coach of the Year. I'm trying to remember. NFC Coach of the Year. Lions still need one more win to get to that Coach of the Year. So we'll come back to that. But right now, let's go ahead and try to see what's the status on this game. It doesn't seem to be pulling up. And here we go. Indeed, new game number. I sort of figured. Okay, so close. Hey, Anthony is in the house. How are you doing, my brother? It is good to see you. Let's get back and see this game here. Did I get that back to full screen? No, I did not. But there it is, full screen. So we're still waiting for this game to sort of reinvigorate. They've provided a new game number, but I can tell you if you're new to the audience, as perhaps someone is, we were tied 17-17 a lot here in the second half, but a 60-yard touchdown on 3rd and 5, I think it was, by Ronald Jones, has put the Buccaneers on top 24-17. Falcons getting the follow-up possession with the ball, and they are 5:42 to go. So they got plenty of time to come back, but I'm just having trouble getting back into the game. Let's try it again. Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, I cannot hear you, Anthony. So, where am I at? So, I'm looking for this. Hope we can get back in because this is a big game. I've been looking forward to this game all week. Oh, I like the looks. Tell me you're letting me in now. It said sending server game info. That usually is a good sign, but man, I don't know. Hmm. All right. So, actually, you know what? Maybe they just haven't started yet because I can see their chat. So I think maybe that's what that is. Sometimes I'm not so sure. Let's just, I guess, be patient for a second here and see what we can see. So I guess we're trying to figure out something here related to the rules, so bear with us, I guess. Mm, All right. So we are returning to play here. I am not. I guess I'm just looking at that. Thought I'd look. Let's see. I don't see anything. I have to admit, it could be staring me right in the face, and I wouldn't necessarily recognize it. I don't generally pull this up. I'm not seeing anything that made reference to the most recent play of any sort of penalty, but they were making some reference to that. Right now, we just need to move on. That's where we're at. So, still a big moment in the game. Bucks are still up 24-17. I'm going to make sure I've got a full screen going for my friends, and it appears that I do. So we're back to the game. Second and 10 at the 43-yard line for the Falcons. They're 57 yards away from a tying touchdown. And Dominican Sue with his seventh tackle in this game. He had a solid first half with his rating stuffing several runs by the Falcons, who have had trouble getting the runs to their own card today. Both teams have 3 timeouts still, so still time for more than even one drive. So a lot to happen here, but certainly the Falcons under a lot of pressure to get into the end zone quickly. Bucks showing 3-4. Tom Brady had like 48 yards passing late in the second quarter, but he really hit it up after that. There's a incompletion. Let's see. Actually, intentional grounding on top of that. So a huge play on the Bucks pressure defensively. So 3rd and 20 now for the Falcons at their own 33. And boy, if they don't get enough yardage here, they might, not even want to go for it on fourth down. It's going to be interesting. I think that they're going to need a sizable chunk of change here as far as yardage on this third down play. Short pass, Calvin Ridley, incomplete. So 4th and 20 at their own 33. All 3 timeouts at the disposal of Coach John Freeze. We'll see what he decides to do. I would suspect it's time to bring out the punter, but you never know. And the Falcons do indeed bring out the punter. So punting from their own 33-yard line. Big stop there by the Buccaneers. Boy, that intentional grounding. Huge call. Just the third penalty on the day for the Falcons. I knew they had gotten the best of that. All right, there's the punt, 45-yarder. That's going to be down to the 22. Fielded there, just a 1-yard return. Kenyon Barner, and it's 1st and 10 at the 23. So 3:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. And just like that, the image on my clock changes to 3:54. Still not sure why my clock jumps like that sometimes when broadcasting, but I've noticed it does. 3:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. Bucks looking to run clock, and they've got Lenny Fournette in. And they are in the spread formation, and it's a screen pass to Fournette. Result is receiver and 8 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 2. And honestly, 8 yards is one of the least appealing options there for Lenny Fournette. So that puts the Bucks in a really nice 2nd and 2. 3:18 to go after that play. Falcons holding their timeouts. Inside run. Fournette stuffed. A 1-yard loss. Deion Jones brings him down, and that sets up a 3rd and 3. So huge play in this game right now. Keyshawn Vaughn comes in at tailback. Sideline pass to Godwin. Result is receiver and 6 yards. 1st down. Brady hits it. Big conversion there. And now we're down to 2 minutes, 6 seconds left. Falcons running out of real estate and running out of clock. They need to stop defensively. Lenny Fournette behind the 2 tight end formation. Off tackle to Fournette. He's keyed and nothing doing. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. That's going to be the 2-minute warning here in Atlanta with the Falcons down by 7 points. Matt Ryan trying to deliver with a 2-minute offense. Both teams 7 and 6 trying to separate in the NFC South race, as well as the USFFL playoff race. Short pass to Gronkowski. He's doubled and incomplete. Brady on his own card. Couldn't hit his double team number. Of course, that one was incomplete on right, wrong, and double team, but it's 3rd and 10. And the Falcons' best chance here. Off tackle, Ronald Jones on his own card, 6 yards. Boy, there were certainly some 1st down runs available there, but they did stuff him after 6 yards. Sets up a 4th and 5, and Falcons will use their first timeout. So the Bucks now 4th and 5 at their own 41, punting to the Falcons with 1:45 to go. Here comes the punt. It's going to be a 46-yarder that goes out of bounds on a coffin corner. So that's out at the 28, and that's where the Falcons will take over with 1:37 to go. Falcons with 2 timeouts. They need the touchdown. 4 wide receivers. Hayden Hurst also in the backfield beside Ryan, who's in the shotgun. Bucks will bring the nickel defense. Short pass. The target is Christian Blake. The defensive card, and it's complete. 15 yards and a 1st down. He did not get out of bounds. Let's see what the Falcons do with their clock management here. Says 1:37. They're going to go with the hurry up offense. That gets it down to 1:15. They're holding their timeouts. 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. They will stay in the same formation. We'll see if they want to get aggressive somewhere here and try to sneak in a deep ball. Here's a short pass. Russell Gage is the target. And Ryan's got him. Complete for 13, and Gage does get out of bounds. Nice play for the Falcons in the clutch here. That sets up 1st and 10 across midfield at the Tampa 44. 1:07 left to go here in the fourth quarter. With 2 timeouts and 67 seconds and only 44 yards away, the Falcons can afford to even mix in maybe some flat passes here. They'll stay, though, in that 4 wide receiver formation with Hurst in the backfield. It's a short pass to Hurst, and he's got him again. Matt Ryan for 13 yards to Hurst. He's out of bounds at the 31. Big play as Matt Ryan goes over 200 yards passing in this game. 60 seconds left to go. 1st and 10 at the Tampa 31-yard line. Falcons 31 yards away. They're going to need the touchdown and the extra point, of course. They've chewed up a lot of field in a short amount of time. Still 60 seconds to go. They'll stay in that 4 wide receiver. Short pass again to Zacharias. That's a possible interception, and it's picked off. It is intercepted. Jamel Dean steps in front of it for the Buccaneers. And I think that should do it, folks. It will do it. 52 seconds left. The Falcons do have 2 timeouts. But if they take the knee 3 times, that should do it here. And the Bucs are going to walk away with a big road win. Brady takes a knee. There is a penalty. It's holding on the Buccaneers. Backs them up. 1st and 17 at their 8. But they're still going to be able to take it. Well, they won't be able to necessarily take a knee 3 times that close, but full house formation. There's a run for 0. Leonard Fournette ran it. And no gain. Falcons call timeout. Really take 2 knees here, and that should be it. But he's going to go off tackle. And Ronald Jones with a gain of 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9. Check that, a gain of 8. And that's 3rd down and 9 at the 16. The Falcons use their last time out. But 30 seconds to go. All you got to do is take a knee, and this one's over. And Brady finally takes that knee. And this game is officially over. Your final score from Atlanta, 24-17. Bucs beat the Falcons. Very close game. Yardage, decided advantage for the Buccaneers. 402 yards to 258. A lot of that on the strength of Tom Brady, who got really hot in the second half, finished with 240 yards passing, 26 for 39. He did have the 2 picks that helped keep the other team in the game. But the running game was the big differential here. Ronald Jones, 23 carries for $157, including what amounted to be the clinching 60-yard touchdown run. Ironically, for this game, both teams at 7-6, regardless of who won this game, they walked into the game in the playoff picture as the 6th and 7th seed, and they'll walk out of the game in the playoff picture as the 6th and 7th seed, regardless of who won. So their position didn't change as far as that playoff seeding, but certainly the Bucs in a much better position to advance here going forward after closing out this big division win. The Bucs will travel next to meet with the Detroit Lions, whereas the Falcons will face the Kansas City Chiefs. So probably a little tougher matchup, one would expect. And then these 2 teams will meet again in the last week of the season finale. So we'll see how that ferrets out. Let's see. There's Coach Freeze. Coach John Freeze, how are we doing tonight? Can you hear me, John?
Well, hello there. Hang on a sec while I turn that sound on.
Huh?
I got, hang on a sec. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, we got Anthony too. So
yeah, bud.
Talk to me about the game there, John.
Well, gave it a shot, you know.
Yeah. You were in it right to
Hey,
the end. That 60-yarder was kind of a backbreaker, huh?
the 60-yarder, the 60-yard. Yeah, that was bullshit. Yeah. That was a prime piece of bullshit. Amongst a
Yeah.
couple of other pieces, I might add, in terms of commentary from.
Well, the one thing that was
Yeah,
interesting about that play is in a game where, for most of the game, both of you were kind of struggling to get the big plays. There weren't very many short gains, even. There's some short passes,
yeah,
but like you guys weren't really in the running games, weren't producing short gains. You were
no,
both relying on the passing game, and then all of a sudden you get this one run in the game, and it proves out to be the difference maker. But you certainly held
yeah.
close for most of that game.
Yeah, I would like to be on a broadcast where I actually was, had a decent pairing against another team. Now, in all truthfulness, I had a decent pairing with Anthony's club, and he crushed me. So, I mean, that was ridiculous.
Uh,
I can't complain too much.
Every one of us, each one of us has had a couple games this year where it's just like, okay, that didn't work. So that
Yeah,
just
against
shows the
Anthony.
parity of the NFL with the parity of this league and everything.
Yeah, against Anthony at one point, Ryan in the first half had 20 yards passing for the first half.
Yeah.
And he was 1 for 8 at one point, and then he was 2 for, I think, 15, something like that in the first half against Anthony's team. It was just, no matter what I did, all I was hitting was blanks on his cards and on the receiver cards, and that was all there was.
Yep.
So,
sometimes everything that's avalanching one way starts to flip on you. So that's why I never begrudge anybody that wants to run up a score on me or anything, because you just never know what's going to happen. So
yeah, sure, yeah.
But this one was close throughout. You guys had a real close game.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems in that matchup for you is that you have a difficult time with the pass rush against that offensive line, and that really makes it tough with your pass defense, especially to maintain over the long term.
Yeah, there's no point in even trying to pass rush him. He's got
Yeah.
all 7s and 5s, and mostly 7s. And
Right.
my pass rush is bad, so it's just, what would be the point? It's better to just try and get a coverage sack if you can get one during the game. That would be nice,
Sure.
But then he started in the middle of the I think it was really in the middle of the third quarter when he just started hitting every bad number that I have on my very bad defensive cards.
Right.
And he was
especially short pass.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And he was just eating me up, And as soon as you see that 3-man in the short pass thing, and you see that it's solid completions from 3 to 6, and you just go, ooh, let me throw on that. Yeah. And when there is no pass rush, you just go.
You did a pretty good job of doing what you have to do, which is to mitigate it. In fact, I made reference to the fact that your cards for pass defense look atrocious, and I think the actual verbiage says very poor. But you have the 15th ranked pass defense in the USFFL, and that's not going to be by accident. That's because you recognize what you've got, what the weaknesses are, and you've been playing as well as you can with what's there for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's basically all you can do.
That's right. That's right.
Try and cover up your atrociousness.
So I totally get that.
But it didn't work against LA.
Well, but will it work in your next matchup? I'm not sure who you play next. Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you got here. I will make one comment, though, and that is this.
Okay.
I think it's probably not the best thing in the world in terms of an even Steven kind of playing field to have the two Super Bowl guys conducting the broadcasts and looking at the teams that they are going to play the next week.
You know what? What I would say to you about that, John, is I couldn't agree more. It would be completely selfish of us to be taking advantage of that, which is why I'll post this broadcast for you live so that everybody can see what an amazing job you did of how you
Oh,
managed all
yeah,
your pieces today.
right. I think it'll be amazing if the score next week between you and I
Oh, yeah.
is
Well,
anything
you
less
talk,
than
you always like
close.
to talk down a game, but we all know anything can happen. So I will say this,
Yeah.
one of the things I made reference to down the stretch in that game is, believe it or not, I looked
Carolina
at
pulled off a miracle, I
well,
thought, and a
well, I looked
miracle
at it
play
before the
through that.
game, and regardless of whatever
Yeah.
happened in this game, you guys were still going to be the 6th and 7th seeded teams in the playoff chase right now, no matter who won. So you're still the 7th ranked team because you're now tied at 7-7 with the 49ers, but the Niners have such uh, a not good conference
Yeah, they
record.
don't have a good conference
The
record.
conference record, yeah, is what still has you in playoff position. So you still control your
Yeah.
own destiny. That's the exciting part. The unexciting part is your schedule says you're facing last year's 2 Super Bowl teams
Yeah, that's right.
today,
Yeah.
and for the next 2 weeks. I can't
Yeah.
believe that schedule worked for you.
I'm excited about it though. So
You should be. You know what? I actually I like that train. I like that kind of thinking. I can tell you. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll break news here. Recently, we had the Jets needed a sub, and it was against the. So it was going to be the winless Jets against the undefeated Seahawks. And I believe, as commissioner, I should allow people to take that credit before me as far as sub credits. But I was privately hoping. I didn't want anybody to take that. I wanted nobody because I wanted my shot. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to play an 0-14 team against a 14-0 and just take my
oh,
shot at it.
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
always for that kind of
Let me
challenge.
take
So
the
that would have been
worst
fun.
team in the pack and see what I can do, to tap dance on your head for a minute or two.
And I can't remember. I'm trying to remember who played it, but whoever they did a pretty good job. I can't. It was like 32-16 or something.
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah,
played the Jets that day, I can't remember. But they obviously, embraced that same kind of
yeah.
mentality because they made it work, obviously, and kept that team in the game toward the end. So,
There
but
was
hey,
something that was
yeah, go
kind
ahead.
of funny that happened yesterday that I wanted to call out to you
Sure,
guys real quick
sure.
that I thought was pretty good in the regular NFL broadcast and just as broadcasters, right? I was a
Yeah.
broadcasting major, by the way, back in the '70s when I was in
Oh, well, you should be jumping
University
out
of
here
Maine.
with us in the pre and during game part. But go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't do sports broadcasts, by the way,
Oh,
though.
okay.
I was a disc jockey, but anyway, what happened yesterday was I thought pretty cool as a Baltimore area, as a Maryland guy,
Sure.
my whole
Right.
life, dyed in the wool Ravens fan. I love this, right? So they're watching the Chiefs play the Steelers, drilling the Steelers, just crushing them.
I like the story so far. Please
And
continue.
the national broadcast team decided that this is just so crushingly boring that we are just
I
not going
heard
to
about
hang in here
this.
for this one. We're going to flip the broadcast over to some other team. I don't know who. I don't remember who it was, but they flipped over to some other team and literally watched the
Just a knee,
quarterback kneel 3
taking
times.
knees. Yeah.
But first, they showed 3 commercials. Then they showed the quarterback take 3 kneels.
But
Then
at
went
least you
back
saw a
and
game that mattered.
showed 3 more commercials, and then went back to took them back, the Steelers fans back to the Steeler game. And I just
Oh,
thought that was just poetic. I love that.
yeah.
As a
That's
person
awesome.
who's had to tolerate a lot of terrible towels in their own stadium over the years,
I gotta tell you,
anytime,
I'm
yeah,
loving. And by the way, I'm a Ravens like if it's not so in real life, other than the Chiefs, like the Ravens have always been my second favorite team. Big Ray Lewis fan, and so even though I love the Ravens and have so much respect for the Steelers, really more than even any other organization, in my personal opinion,
you gotta respect
I
Chris
just
Thomas.
love seeing the Browns and the Bengals finally giving them a run for their money. And if you're not the Chiefs, I love competition. I don't care if we win
Yeah.
this division forever. But in other divisions and watching the NFL as a fan, I love parity and I love seeing the Bengals. It breaks my heart a little bit that the Bengals are playing the Chiefs this week because I'd like to root for them, but I just can't this week. So.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is just scary. His wide receivers are
Well, and
scary.
those wide receivers,
They
yeah.
are good. That team is going to be good for a
There
considerable
aren't a lot of
period.
teams right now that would be real scary to me the way the Chiefs are playing, but
Yeah.
I do worry about what Burrow and that group of receivers can do. I think that even a defense that's playing good for like 8 weeks straight that the Chiefs have been playing right now, I think that with Mixon and those wideouts, you never know. And by the way, we always talk about some of the coaches that haven't had their comeuppance as far as carding and everything. So good for Jeff. Good for Jeff Winland that he'll have. I'm not sure if I said his name right, but good for him that he's going to have an exciting Bengals team next year to field. I'm really kind of excited for him on that. And same thing with the Browns. Of course, I guess Tom's got his team already to 10-4. So he's doing a great job. He could still win that division against Peter's Steelers. So that's an interesting look there too. So
one of the things I like to mine in terms of data mining and the stuff that the reports that Strato provides is evidence of a coach being difficult to predict or being a very good predictor. And Jeff Wendland routinely stands out as being, as getting the most from the cards that he has been dealt by the football gods, and does
I think that's fair.
Really good job.
Now that it's funny, now that you mention it, I look back, and I look back at the playoff tree from every season with some regularity, just as my role of commissioner, doing different various things. And every time I know I've several times I thought, man, I'm seeing the Bengals a lot here. I didn't think that that's not a very good team, but they seem to be in the mix, in the playoffs here every now and then. So yeah.
But here's what's going to happen with the Bengals over the years, and that is that I've been watching them, man and boy for a long time, and they the owners of that club, as long as that quarterback's cheap, no problem. As soon as he starts to get paid NFL grade,
you're right. I forgot
they are that team to nothing, and because their mission is to break their fans' hearts.
I'd forgotten all about that, John, but you're absolutely right. That is an organization that has a very well-earned reputation for tight purse strings. And so it will be interesting to see, because I'm looking at that team and I'm thinking what I'm seeing there, that I feel like it's going to be them and the Ravens for a while. But once we get off Burrow's contract and you've got an organization that doesn't like to pay people, let's see what they're willing to do to step up. I have a feeling, though, that I'm not saying he's Mahomes, but like when a quarterback comes up that is as good as Burrow, you're going to pay him. I just think there's no way the Bengals don't pay him. They're going to say whatever it takes.
They'll pay him, but they'll destroy the rest of the payroll to do it.
Well,
so, but by the way, that came up today, Anthony, that I wanted to call out for you was being an ex-Falcon guy. Was interesting article about where Matt Ryan might be going next year, and the top three targets were the Browns.
He's talking to you. He's talking to you, Anthony, but I don't think we can hear you still. Can we hear you, Anthony?
Yeah, I think you're muted. Yeah, you're muted, Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony is muted on his. Oh, can we? Are you there, Anthony? Yeah, we still can't hear Anthony, so he's not going to be able to respond to your question.
Yeah, but the targets for Ryan for a trade, because his salary is overweighted because they kept extending him.
Are
the Browns, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So there you go. That may be where we see Matt Ryan, especially in a trade after June 1. Which would be when they can maximize the impact of trading out of his salary.
Sure.
And the guy I think they ought to go get to take Matt Ryan's place happens to be here in Baltimore.
Oh, really? Huntley?
That'd be Huntley.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him a lot. He's a nice guy. He's accurate. He's mobile. He understands a good playbook, a fairly complex playbook. He works well with quality receivers. Give
the Ravens credit for scouting out a quarterback that fits so well into their system and making it work. And listen, talk about class organizations like the Steelers. The Ravens are right up there too, and they know what they're doing. They always have so much respect for Harbaugh. I guess I didn't like the look of him yesterday. I guess he was chirping a little bit at Bengals at
Yeah,
the
he
end of the
was.
game for throwing deep, and
Yeah.
I guess
Sorry, man, you've done it yourself. So
exactly. It's on the borderline, but I just don't see that it's a problem with it. Moreover, it just seems beneath a coach of the way I respect Harbaugh to complain about something like that. So I was a little
right.
surprised that he did. I would have never guessed he would have done that, but it's not that big a deal. He's still
I do
an
have two
amazing
complaints
coach.
with John Harbaugh, and those were those two. Basically, essentially, what he did was the same play twice in a row
Yeah.
at the end of the game to attempt the 2-point conversion, and bad play choice on both occasions. And I had no problem at all with going for it. I had an enormous problem with play selection. I thought it was just about the worst plays, the worst play, and they did it twice. They chose the same play twice.
Yeah.
It gives you no options, whatever. I mean, it's just an absolute straight pass straight to the flat. And if it doesn't, and if the guy's covered, there was no designed option. And you could see Huntley was standing there going, "What the fuck do I do now?" You have to throw the ball because that's the only thing. The only this is not an RPO, you know.
Oh, so I think we're going to be able to hear Anthony now because I can hear him shuffling that microphone. What's up, Anthony?
Okay, you can hear me now.
Hey, bro. Good sit.
New computer and the mic doesn't work. I've it's funny because I haven't said much at all here but
whatever
don't think I'm not. Don't think I'm not thinking all sorts of things. By the way, John, if you need, if you want a little, advice on the Chiefs for next week,
go ahead. Go ahead. It's open book test here. Hey, by the way, guys, you're welcome to talk anything about the Chiefs and how to beat me. I welcome that kind of thing. Just don't talk about the Dolphins game because I'm recording it. Now go ahead.
No, I wouldn't say it in front of you, Tim, because then you would know what he knows. So,
Well, I'm just going to mix it up just for the heck of it.
Not that I beat the Chiefs, by the way. I lost, but
yeah. Well, I feel like I learned a little something about John's tendencies tonight, so I'll try to remember some of what I learned tomorrow, just like John said, just like he made reference to.
But just one
John's
thing,
biggest tendency is that John absolutely hates to lose at strat.
John's comments about guessing and the patterns of guessing and coaches. One thing I've learned a lot this year with the Chargers. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Is that strat doesn't pick it all up. In other words, in the Stratomatic report, what's become really important this year, I think, is the game within the game for passing. So the game within the game for passing in particular. So what does that mean? That means there's a guessed wrong, guessed right aspect that's not picked up in the Stratomatic report about especially throwing deep against double teams and catching your guy with 0 men back. And that, I guess there's ways to use a Stratomatic report to figure that out, but that has almost become like a run pass level guess this year more than any other year.
I'm not following that. Explain that. Maybe John followed it. I didn't quite follow that, and I want to.
So many teams are pass heavy.
Oh yeah,
that there isn't much of a run pass cat and mouse as there used to be. There still is some, of course, plenty of it, but not as much as there used to be with a large subset of teams that are generally going to pass a lot. So the dynamic shifts to what plays the offense is calling against a known pass call on defense. So the cat and mouse, so for the Chargers, for example, the cat and mouse is flat pass versus long pass, or double teams versus long pass,
as opposed to pass versus run. I'm following you, and I agree with that. I guess I would say this. I've been playing Stratomatic at a high volume level for decades now, and I guess I feel like I always recall that the defenses would be more pass heavy in their call ratio defensively than what maybe in real life what you might expect or whatever, because it always seemed to be more successful. But where I think it has really spiked lately is just the explosion of pass offense in the NFL, leading to carded advantages that are more ripe for all of us to exploit in the way you're talking about. And so, yeah, defensive calls are certainly more prevalent. That's one of the things, I thought about, with John going into my matchup is I thought, for a guy who's got a very, very, very poor pass defense, the Falcons rank 15th in the USFFL in pass defense. I looked at that, and before I ever started the game, I thought, I think John's calling pass a lot defensively.
Yeah.
So when I said I learned something, I kind of fudged. I didn't really learn it in the game. I learned it pregame. I said, okay, here's the guy who's found success calling a lot of pass defense.
You can see in the reports that I call pass over 94% of the time.
Yeah. I know it's available in the reports, so but I figured it out without
92% of your passes correct. Which we went over this in the playoff, which I think is number one, but only 17%. But only 17% of runs, and that makes sense because you got Grady Jarrett and a pretty good crew down there to bottle up runs and bail you out.
Literally the worst pass defense in the NFL.
Yep.
You should be calling pass.
Well, and that's also okay. That's fine. Last thing I was going to say is that's also how your good run defense has ranked 25th is because, like me, you seem to be more inclined to allow teams to run on you, and I kind of the same way. So we'll have an interesting matchup tomorrow.
I've always played strategy.
Or next week.
I've always gravitated towards teams that have strong defenses against the run, and then I just lay back and call pass all game. It just simplifies the decision making, makes the game go quicker.
Sure.
But if I could trade with Tampa Bay, I would.
Of course.
Guys, thank you so much. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see you, John. Anthony, you as well. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Take care, man.
Bye.